Tonight, a 15-year-old is facing charges after a shooting near Six Flags on opening weekend. Many of you saw these videos on social media where you can hear the gunshots and see people running. Tonight, we're still working to learn everything that led up to the shooting. 11 Alive's Molly Oak live outside the park tonight where the shooting is still under investigation. Molly.
Yeah, and I want to give you some perspective of where I'm standing right now. So you see that roller coaster track behind me. So we're right next to Six Flags, then right across the street, really diagonal from the park. That's where we watched Cobb County police for hours today. They told me they were doing an article search, which basically means the officers and canines were looking for any weapons that could have been tossed when a crowd of people ran into the woods. They wanted to make sure they found those weapons, if they did find any, before anyone else could get their hands on them. All right, now I want you to look at your screen. We're going to run down some of the charges that 15-year-old will face according to Cobb County Police. Some of those charges include aggravated assault on a police officer, possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, possession of a firearm under 18, and interference with government property. Now, I say he will be charged because the GBI says he's still in the hospital in critical condition, and Cobb Police say they have the warrant for his arrest, and he will be arrested on the pending charges once he's discharged from the hospital. Now, this all comes after a fight involving dozens of people that happened over at Six Flags over Georgia on Saturday. The GBI, who is investigating, says Cobb County police officers were called in to help with crowd control after there were fights as people were leaving the park. It says at some point multiple people began shooting and hit a marked police car with no one inside. Now, officers rushed after people who then ran into the woods. During all of this, the GBI says a Cobb police officer shot and hit a 15-year-old boy and then later found a gun near him. As for what led up to that shooting, we're still working to learn a lot of the details. However, I did ask Six Flags over Georgia if, because that fight that happened on property and then the shooting that happened off property, they'll be increasing any security or looking at any of their protocols to make changes. All it would tell me was that the GBI is investigating. Back to you all.